Welcome to the Coffee Experts Club. If you're at all interested in anything we talk about in this episode, go ahead and check out the description down below, or if you even just want to know more about us, click on the links below. Now on to the episode.
Coffee Experts Club. What is going on, Ben Clatterbuck?
Good day, sir. Fine.
Good day, man. Drew Moody just taking the day off.
Taking the day off. He's going to take the day off on bar, actually. I'll be working. Well, he's doing interviews and all that sort of stuff too right now.
So one of our managers just needed a little time, and so Drew's like, hey, let me just take a shift. I want to be into the underbelly of the beast for a minute. Drew never works shifts, anymore. So it's cool that he's able to just kind of step in, hold some space, give the manager some time, and then also see, you shine the light, you see how the cockroaches run, you know what I'm saying? You should see Drew lighting up the channels. He's like, what the heck is this? And why are we doing this over here? And where, he just is laying it down on the people. And I'm like, that's what you guys get. Mad Dad's here, and you're going to get it right now.
That's like, I remember back in the day, I would do that. I'd work like a random afternoon shift when I was managing one of the locations, just to what are the customers like? What's the crew like? What's the overall feel of the afternoons? Because when the manager leaves in the day, they're like, at least for me, I was like, I'm gonna go take a nap, guys. Have fun.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. So anyway, Drew's working some shifts. He's doing some interviews, which is always cool. We love being in the country of Belize. It's fun to be down there. It's great to see people grow. Anyway, Ben, I'm pretty excited about guests we have on the show today, because very, very different than anybody that we've had on the show historically. We spend a lot of time talking to drive-through coffee shop owners, people that are growing their business. Either this is their first drive-through or they're growing it to 2, 3 and beyond, but I don't think we've talked to anybody that is growing coffee like these guys are growing coffee. And so anyway, I'm excited to bring on to the stage Robert Whitten and Jane Lowe, which are co-founders and co-CEOs of Ping. And they've got something pretty exciting. So with no further ado, let's bring them on. Rob, Jane, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Aaron. Ben, nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course. All righty. So guys, tell us a little bit about what you're doing. I feel like I just heightened the intrigue. Everybody's like, what? I know, Jane, you've gone to jail in Belize is what I heard. No, or you went to the police station at least. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and tell us about Ping.
Cool. Yeah. Ping is automated drive-through experience. Basically, 3 years ago, I had 3 daughters in high school. They made me go through a bunch of drive-throughs, and I have Joe Pesci level luck in the drive-through. I don't know. It's a coin flip whether or not I get something even remotely close to what I ordered. And so I was whinging about it one day, and Jane turned to me and said, between your robotics and food experience and her, customer experience background, we should totally fix this problem. And we started looking at it. It's a huge opportunity. It's amazing. And the technology is something that we could achieve. And so we started putting it together, and here we are.
That's wild.
Thanks.
Ben, have you checked out their little video, their little info video?
I don't know what I was expecting when I opened it. I was like, that's genius.
Especially in the age of where everybody's talking AI right now, right? Everybody's talking about how can we make things more efficient. I feel like you guys went straight at the throat, and you're like, let's cut this whole thing out. Let's make it as efficient as we can with robotics. And you guys do use some AI, I saw, and geofields too. Maybe walk people through what the process is, maybe how you guys got there, how this became what you decided to do with, as you start thinking about what are we cutting out and what do we create and how do we create it and what's the experience we want people to have?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks. So our overall vision for this thing was to create this super smooth experience. We want you to leave Ping feeling like, you know what, I am victorious. At least that part of my day went right today, which is an unusual feeling when you're leaving a drive-through, trust me. And so the way it works is you order on an app. You drive to any of our pods anytime, 24/7. Well, right now there's one, but this is the vision, right? So you share your location, and we see you coming. And so just before you arrive, we make your order. We're trying to make your order perfectly fresh as you arrive, and you drive up and you grab it and you go. So there's a lot of cool tech behind it. So, as you arrive on the site, we have a bunch of sensors that are, figuring out where you are in line. As you drive up to the window, we have a vision system that figures out the height of your window, and our robots will make your drink and put it into the window, and then the window will present your drink at the right height. So you just grab it and go. No scanning, no waiting, and no tipping.
It's such a wild. It's one of those concepts I feel like people had 15 years ago, and they're like, "There's no way." It's the pipe dream type stuff, but it is
Well,
really
everything
wild
kind
to
of had
see
to
stuff
come
like this come
together. It's
together.
like the right
Yeah.
time, where people are comfortable using their phone, sharing their location. They're comfortable with automation. Like people are excited about this, right? I think that's like the big thing that we found out from our initial pilot and our testing now is like people are super excited about this, conversion on the way this works. Yeah. And they're like, that's it. That's my order, and I can just take it and go. Like it's awesome. I think.
Yeah, I think part of the wow factor is what the technology enables us to do in terms of the customer experience. So today, if you were to order from Starbucks or Dunkin', they give you an estimated time of arrival, right? Like when your drink is ready. So you're really just timing your day around when they're able to get you a drink.
You gotta game it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were like, why? Like the customer should be at the heart of everything. So we can time it to when you want to arrive. I mean, that would be ideal, right? So we've had customers order one day and pick it up the next day or pick it up 5 hours from now. And that's completely okay. Like it's about your schedule and when you want to pick up your drink and it'll still be fresh. It won't be melted or anything like that. And that's really just, it comes down to like basically everything we do is always to support the customer experience.
That's a great idea. You've spoken to a pain point of mine exactly, because when I run out of coffee at home and I'm like, what's the closest coffee shop to my house? It's a Starbucks. So I'm like, all right, hon, tell my wife I'm going to go pick up coffee. I'll put in the order. I'll wait around at the house for, let's see, I can wait here for 3 minutes. If I leave in like 3 or 5 minutes, I'll get there when it's ready, and hopefully it's not cold by the time I get there. It's so smart. Like, let me just order it. Let me get out of the shower, get dressed, and when I get down to pick it up, it's ready. I love that. That's exactly the kind of convenience that you would hope to get out of automation like this.
Yeah.
What's crazy? Like what's crazy to me is, I know Ben, just this week you were down time in cars, right? Like you were working with a coffee client, is having a problem with speed. So you were down there like time in cars. How long does it take them to turn cars? How long do people have to wait in line? How deep does the line have to get before I'll pull up? And I'm like, nah. Like if I know, like it, even if they're fast, right? Even if they're trying to do it under, a minute, right? Let's say, but I pull up and there's 7 cars in line, 10 cars in line. I don't want to wait that long. Let alone if I know they suck and slow. Like if they suck and they're slow, maybe I get a sucky slow barista and it's like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, like 5 minutes. Now I'm in this line for 35 minutes. Is that what you just said? There's 7 cars in front of me.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that. So I know you guys, that was some of the mindset behind it. I know, Jane, you had pointed out in the intro video on the website that some crazy metric, like 1 second off, or like you had it down to all the way down to of numbers of down by this much increases this much to the bottom line revenue. It was a crazy number.
Yeah, it was. If you can shave off 1 second from your drive-through wait time, and this is Scooter's Coffee's math, right? They have all the data. So if you could shave off that 1 second, then you realize $30,000 more in annual sales. So if you would just imagine if you could just get like rid of 30 seconds of it, even like just exponentially more revenue, not exponentially, but multiples of revenue that you could get.
So wild, because exactly like you're saying, Aaron. I'm down here timing cars. I'm like, if they could just get their car times to 90 seconds, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And but then you're capped at like how fast can a physical person move from one end of the bar to the other, where in your case it's like how fast can I just get the cars in line, it seems like.
Yeah.
I think too, like not only how fast can you turn it, but how long is my drive lane, right? Because then, like, otherwise I've got cars with asses out into the traffic, which is a traffic problem. I'm going to get ticketed by the city. Like, they're going to shut me down on what I can do. Like, so how do I even get creative out there? Ben, we've been in that position where it's like we've had to put people out there flagging people down and stacking them differently through a different parking lot, even to bring them into our parking lot. And just, it can turn into absolute melee if you do any kind of deal day. Like, you're up against the pain of deal day. Like, how much can we stack here? So I think speaks to a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have people who they want to place an order on your site, right? Instead of like in the mobile app, then they get mixed in with the mobile app orders. And then like, your mobile app orders are backed up and they should have been the ones to pick it up first. So it's just like creates sort of just like a logistical issue.
Yeah.
So cool.
What do you guys feel like are some of the pain points you had to solve for? Like, as far as like, this is a new technology, right? So you're pretty cutting edge. I've seen robotic coffee at airports. I think Seattle had one for a while, or some of the robotics they used to do at the airports, but it never in a million years crossed my mind that we could get to a spot where drive-throughs, we would see it start to enter the drive-through market. Maybe what are some of the pain points you guys realized, and then how you guys solved them.
Yeah. So in terms of robotics, like all the technology is really to support the experience we want. And so one of the nice things, I brag to other robotics co-founders that I have Jane, because Jane is not technical at all. She doesn't give two shits about how something is going to be solved. She is completely focused on the customer, which is actually a big weakness of a lot of robotics companies. They don't have that level of focus. They tend to get obsessed with the technology, and so that's one driving factor. But for us, when you look at something like the robotics coffee shop and an airport, it's probably a 6 degree of freedom manipulator with a bunch of espresso machines, and it makes a drink every 3 minutes, kind of like a barista would, right? So for us, we decided to not go down that route. First, we wanted it to be far more scalable, a lot faster, much more reliable. So we wanted to get a drink down to 30 seconds, have a lot more variety, be a very cost-effective machine, very space efficient as well. So we're using a gantry style robot, very affordable and also very reliable. It's basically like a giant 3D printer for drinks. And so that gave us the capacity to be able to meet our peak demands, because that's what you really want to do, is be able to get through. Like having one person come every couple of minutes, that's a pretty easy layup thing to do. Being able to generate the right number of drinks and the right, sequence during the peak time, that was like the real tough problem. And so it's a combination of having the automated fulfillment, let the robots do what they're good at, the repetitive tasks like that, having the sensing capability to see most people coming. But for us, it's also having a site host to help pick up all those corner cases. If somebody does want to talk, there you go, they can help you through. Your first time, great, let me help you walk you through the app. And so I think having that combination of things is how we're going to succeed. Where probably most people haven't, because they're trying to really focus on the technology. If you try to fully automate everything, you'll always find a corner case that you can't solve.
Yeah, I think that walk-up robotic kiosks tend to focus more on the engagement, like the entertainment factor while you're waiting, right? So you're watching a robot. I think that novelty can only last so long. We're trying to solve real customer pain point issues of that long wait for people, like that segment of customers who go to coffee shops who just want speed and convenience. So necessarily our technology has to follow that. It would be all about speed and convenience. And we actually don't want people looking at our technology because we'll just wait a little bit.
Slow it down.
So yeah, so that's really the difference between what we've built versus what you see now, which is they use mechanical arm to move a cup between specialized machines. So very different business model, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talk about that all the time, where there's in the specialty coffee world and the drive-through coffee world, we have those in the coffee industry have these things that we hold on to so tight. Like, well, the customer loves this about me, or they loves this about watching it. Yeah, those things are nice, but if you really ask that customer if they would rather get in and out of your shop in 15 minutes or 15 seconds, 99% of the time they'll say, just give me my coffee really fast. That looks nice, but I just want my coffee fast. And I think you guys are nailing on the head there. It kind of reminds me of, in essence, it's similar to the business model of the drive-through car wash. You got one person there who's kind of like seeing everything, but for the most part, like, hey, come in and go. And if you need help, there's a person standing there. It seems like you're kind of the next iteration for drive-through coffee.
And it's funny because some people want to engage, they want to learn your story. They're really curious about it because we are the brightest, most interesting looking thing in all of Hudson, New Hampshire. But, some people, after they got it figured out, they kind of want to just keep their window up until they get to the window and everything's working, and you just wave on the way by, right? And so, it really allows people to just stay in their comfort zone. Like if you're not outgoing, you don't have to be. You just have to get your app all set up properly and you're good to go,
Yeah.
Talk to us about a little bit, I think some of the element though, we've talked about convenience a lot, right? Speed a lot, like savings a lot, like even on tipping. I know you head nodded towards that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there is a whole side of copyright where it's like the craft of like a craftsman that specializes in this, the barista that understands how to steam the milk, the barista that understands how to pull the shots, or also the human exchange. Like some people, they want everybody to know their name. They want somebody that knows their dog's name. They like that exchange in the morning. If as long as you can get car times quick, they want that human exchange. Like, How are you guys facing that? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Is it just like you're like, hey, listen, we're a different avatar. We're going after a different person. Like if those people like it, go enjoy your line. Like that's great. Go enjoy your time with your people. But if you're the kind of people that just want something quick, come through, get what you want, know it's going to be right every time, then this is the spot for you. Is that kind of the mindset that you come into it with?
Yeah. Again, going back to the speed and convenience consumer segment, but I also think that people are just vastly varied, right? Like I could want speed and convenience in one drink occasion, and then maybe the next day on a Sunday, I want to go and watch a Blue Bottle then make me a pour over, right? Something that I wouldn't normally indulge in because there's that indulgence in the craft and the artisanship that you're talking about, which I think we all still really appreciate. And there's definitely like a space for that as well. So I think people will want different kinds of experiences. But the morning commute, for example, you're just going to want it fast, right? You just want caffeine in your system before like you get to work and have meetings. So it's going to be very different. But I want to say too that I think that our approach to robotics is we still want that human, right? So we learned, for example, that people do want their baristas to remember them, right? They're loyal. They want their loyalty to be acknowledged. So they want to come in and say, hey, my usual. And they want you to know what their usual is, right? But these baristas are just like metric on how fast they can get those drinks out. They don't necessarily remember every single one of their customers' like orders. And so those customers get angry. So the best thing about this is you can order your favorites super, super fast. Your usual, super, super fast. Like it's all stored. You can store as many favorites in our app as you'd like. It's a 2-click order to get there. And then, so it's like really like, there's an element of like, we'll never forget who you are and what your usual is, right? So I think that we can still cater to that need as a human with said technology.
For the site hosts, for us, we see their name on the order and, we know what their car looks like. And so, things that we're doing now as humans, we're going to start to automate more and more, right? Like we can collect all the attributes of a customer that like really makes it personal. And then eventually, as we do move into our labels, we're using these AI generated labels. So now we can take all these things we know about and create this cool image and put it on your label and just do some fun stuff. And now you get to watch AI evolve and it personalizes it for you. And you can have this very custom drink that'll be like very particular to you and consistent every single time,
That's really cool. I'm curious from just a like shop logistics standpoint, obviously you're able to essentially shrink down the time and just the footprint period. Has this opened up, would you say maybe opened up spaces where you've not thought of, there could actually be a coffee shop there, but now that your footprint's so much smaller, you're like, we could plop one here, and here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we get it. As soon as we tell you now, like how big the footprint is, you're going to be like, oh, I could put a ping pot there or there. Like people will text us afterwards, like, this is a great spot, So it's one of the reasons we want to franchise. But why don't you talk about the requirements?
Yeah, I mean, our pod today is 14 by 8. And really, we just need one driveway. We don't need dual driveways because, like people will open up a dual driveway, one for on-site orders and the one for the mobile app. We just have a mobile app. So we do not take up that much space. We actually call ourselves like micro retail. And so there's many places. So right now we're looking at expanding to 3 more sites, and we're looking at places that are just like, we'll take up 10 to 15 parking spots. That's all we need, right? So that might be any overparked grocery store or where we can also just be add-on a perk to customers coming in there.
And we just need power.
Yep.
So you don't need to dig for sewer or water. Like we bring all the filtered water in and kegs, and there's no waste because everything goes directly into the cup. So you don't have to worry about that stuff. So we're super efficient. So basically, if you just have an underutilized parking lot with good access, ingress and egress, you could have a ping pod there and start generating revenue. It's really exciting.
Yeah. So we think there's many opportunities for us to monetize land that was maybe brownfield that you couldn't put anything else on. But since we don't need to break ground or anything like that, then we can be placed there and just pave over, right? So like lots of places we could like help monetize that real estate.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Guys, such exciting stuff, such crazy times.
Right.
Ben, such a different kind of interviewee than anything that we've ever had on Copy X.
I'm sold. I'm on board. I'm ready to go.
I know that you guys have an investing element. I know that you guys have a franchising element. Do you want to just like maybe how can people find out more about Ping? How can they get involved if they want to get involved? And it's an exciting new thing. Congratulations to you guys on cracking into the market. Something totally unique. So cool.
Thanks. Yeah, we're raising on WeFunder right now, but it's funny that you mentioned, oh, this is a very different conversation. Love to stay involved because we think the franchise model that we can really grow into is super exciting because our approach that we've taken has to been, super scalable and very affordable in terms of the robotics. So that pod with 2 robots in it that makes it, each robot makes a drink every 30 seconds, right? So you're looking at, over a 300 drink per hour machine rate. We can make that for about 120. So that means we can give that to a franchisee for 150. They could be under 200K for pre-opening costs to have a fully automated site. And all they really have to do is have a site host there, help people along, get people to the site,
Do marketing.
find the site, have that local knowledge and work with the, work with the town. And I think it's an amazing opportunity for other people like us that are, kind of middle America, like, we have some money and a lot of motivation, right? And to be able to grow your wealth that way, I think is just super exciting. Because if you want to own like a Dunkin's or something like, you got to be a millionaire, right? You have to have $1 million liquid to like even get started. So it's not for me. I know that much, right? I think it's just an exciting opportunity for others like us.
And it allows humans to do what they do best, which is human. They're the face of the brand. They're the ones interacting with the customers. They're the ones who will always stay close to the customers and get that feedback that then becomes like a virtuous like feedback loop into us, into how we can continue to improve on the customer experience. So I think that there's a lot of benefits to that kind of model. You can also find us at our website, pingthrough, pingthru.com. Because we always say, don't just drive through, ping through. So that's an easy way to remember it.
Hey, Rob, Jane, thank you so much. So great having you on the show today. I'm excited to hear about your future. I'm excited to see you guys grow. I'm hoping Jane didn't even get to talk about you trying to smuggle coffee out of Belize. Is that how you ended up at the station in Belize? Is that how that worked? Or tell us that quick story real fast.
I was returning the rental car back to the lot. Literally, I was trying to make a left, and then I got hit in the back by a bus. So then they took us to the police station, and I'm as straight-laced as you can possibly be. And I did not realize that he was looking for a bride to let us go, but we were trying to make our flight. And we had like 5 minutes to go. And literally, they were so sweet. The rental agency, well, the police officers gave up because they realized I would never give them a bribe. The rental agency ferried us over to the airport, which thankfully was very tiny. And then we were able to get on our flight. But it was like stressful. Yeah.
Sounds like Belize.
You give Belize another shot. It doesn't always end up like that. Sometimes it ends up like that. I'm not going to lie, but I'm very grateful to have you on the show, guys. And we wish you all the best. And Coffee Experts, I hope you enjoyed today's show. And we'll see you back here next week on Coffee Experts Club. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.